Forrest Innovations is our first company up. This is a pretty experienced team of people who started Biologics that was acquired by Monsanto in 2011. They're leveraging their RNAi technology to combat two essential problems. One is reducing the burden of mosquito infection, and the second one is to deal with citrus greening disease, which is devastating parts of the southeast. And here is Natsan, please.
Thank you very much. Okay. So first of all, obviously, thank you very much, everybody, for coming in to listen in to my presentation. Forrest Innovations with 2 R's, not with 1 R. It's not because we're ignorant Israelis and we don't know how to spell. It's because it's in Biologics in the past, my nickname was Forrest, because if I was ever going anywhere, I was running. And that's the basis of Forrest Innovations, and that's why it's with 2 R's and not with 1 R. Forrest Innovations is in the space of RNAi. And RNAi is RNA interference technology. This is what Biologics did and was purchased by Monsanto. Monsanto called this BioDirect. And what we're doing is we're using this technology to address two specific areas. And the first one is citrus greening. And citrus greening is a devastating disease which is causing the Florida citrus industry to panic. And it's on the verge of total collapse. And we're using RNAi technology to try to address this problem. The second is mosquito control. And obviously, mosquito-borne diseases are a huge problem. And this is our second focus area. What is RNAi technology? So very, very briefly, because Jim Carrington is here in the audience, I have to be very careful to be very accurate here. So obviously, what is the paradigm here is really based on very specific recognition. And in terms of gene silencing is something that you can target a very specific trait. You don't need to target the whole organism. And in this respect, it's an incredible, robust technology because everything that we do affects gene expression. However, in this paradigm, what we have is double-stranded RNA is recognized by the cell. It's cleaved by the internal machinery of the cell. It recruits effector proteins and recognizes in a very specific manner, it recognizes the mRNA that we're trying to silence. So this is the basis of this technology. And the bottom line, the most important take-home message is this is specific. You can specifically target what you're looking for. So for citrus greening, we have an amazing opportunity, as I said. It's a huge market opportunity. Today in Florida, it's covering 100% of the groves. And we recently heard that it's almost impossible to find a tree which is not infected with citrus greening for control experiments. So this is on the verge of collapse as far as the citrus industry is concerned. And you can read all about it in the national press. From our perspective, if we're talking about 500 million trees that are in acute citrus greening areas, this is a $1 billion a year business opportunity for Forrest Innovations. And we've made scientific breakthroughs, both in the delivery of the double-stranded RNA to the target plants, and secondly, we've identified those targets which provide us the improved phenotype. And just to show you what I'm talking about, so here on the left we can see, or let's start with the right, we see what happens to citrus trees which are infected with the HOB disease. The first thing that happens is that they stop growing. When they are provided with a combination which contains a component that we call green shield, we get the mitigation of the growth arrest which is associated with the disease. So basically, we are restoring the ability of the plant to continue to grow. The second opportunity is mosquito control, and this is also a huge opportunity. It's a huge market throughout the world. And here, too, we have the breakthrough. We have the scientific breakthrough, which is reversal of resistance in populations of mosquitoes that are resistant to pyrethroid insecticide. Some of you may know that the Gates Foundation has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in impregnated bed nets with pyrethroids in Africa, and now they're under threat because those mosquitoes have developed resistance to the pyrethroids. By being able to reverse pyrethroid resistance, we have got a very major breakthrough. And the breakthrough here is, as you see here in the control, these are mosquito populations in Brazil. From Rio de Janeiro, we have collaboration with the Fiocruz Institute. And these mosquitoes that are treated with the pyrethroid insecticides are alive with the standard bioassay, which is associated with pyrethroid resistance. When these larvae are pre-treated with the double-stranded RNA, which targets the specific target that we've identified, we reverse the pyrethroid resistance in the mosquitoes, and they subsequently die from exposure to the same level of pyrethroids. So this is obviously of huge potential significance also for the generic ability to address other insects in agriculture which have developed resistance to insecticides. So just to summarize, we've achieved what we say. We can say that we have the tiger by the tail. This is the holy grail of plant RNAi. And this is the proprietary delivery technology that we've developed and submitted a patent application. We've identified trigger molecules which are associated with both Nomo-Moss and Green Shield, and we've submitted a opportunity for a bird together with a strategic partner to diversify into other opportunities. Finally, what is Forrest Innovations looking for? What we're looking for, we've raised to date $4.5 million. We are now positioned in such a way that we have the breakthrough trigger molecules. We've identified, as I said, a proprietary delivery strategy, and this enables us to go all the way to completion of regulatory approval and product development from our perspective. And for that, we are now looking to raise around $20 million. Our last raise was just over almost $2.5 million at an $18 million pre-money evaluation. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Nitzan, it wasn't clear why you were called Forrest. Can you just let us know again? Since I actually do know the answer, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Well, yeah, that was my nickname at Biologics.
You're named after Forrest Gump, by the way, just
Yeah,
in case you
yeah.
didn't know that already. Okay. Questions? Yes, sir.
Hey, is citrus greening only in Florida or the global market?
No. The citrus greening is a big problem. In Florida, it's completely acute. It's on the verge of collapse. But it's a huge problem in Brazil. It's also in China, in India, and it's now being discovered also in California. And so they're panicking in California. They're trying to quarantine. I'm not so sure that they're going to be successful, but I'm very much hopeful that they will.
Wow. Like we need more problems in California. Questions?
Other questions?
Yes.
Is the RNAi specifically directed against the pathogen?
No. In our Green Shield, by the way, first of all, I want to welcome everybody to approach me with further questions so that I can elaborate. Obviously, in the 6 minutes, it's not possible to elaborate on everything. But our strategy, the basis of our strategy is basically to target the endogenous genes of the plants. Okay, so we're not targeting the pest, and we're not targeting the pathogen. We're targeting the endogenous genes of the plants, which are associated with the development of symptoms in the citrus trees.
Excellent. Other questions? Thank you, Nitzan. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.